Hi guys, welcome back to Surviving Parenthood. I'm Andrea from Nestful of Love, and this week we're talking about bedtime routines. So my kids are a little bit older. Now they are 7 and 10, but since my son was about 4 or 5 months old, we've kind of had the same type of bedtime routine. It's just evolved slightly as we've gone through different changes of our lives, but overall, the foundation of our routine is the same. So it all starts around dinner time for us. We try to have dinner early enough so we have plenty of time to get ready for bed, wind down, get all our energy out. So finding time to have dinner around 5 to 6 p.m. works for us because then we have plenty of time to eat and then we have time to get their last wiggles and giggles out. So if your kids are anything like my kids, as soon as they eat, they have their second wind and they are bouncing off the walls. So we usually like to get them to play around. They can go out back. Now they're older, so they can go play outside. They can rush around with their dad. We can play a game as a family. Just anything to kind of get their last little wiggles and giggles out for the evening. So after we play around for a little bit after dinner, then we start to have like the very calming shower. Let's get comfy, let's brush our teeth, let's just, keep it very peaceful and get ready. So like I said, it's pretty much been the same since they were babies. When they were babies, they only bathed like every other day unless needed. And as they've gotten older, probably around when they started school, then they would bathe every night, and my son bathes in the morning, my daughter bathes in the evening. So she would take a shower, Connor gets ready for bed, then Danica gets her comfy pajamas on, and then we like to read, especially because they're in school. That's kind of something that they have to do anyways, but something that we've done since they were born. Reading is important and just really kind of gets them mellow and calm, and especially if you pick a really nice book that they like but isn't like gonna hype them up all over again. So we read, we have quiet time, we talk as a family now that they're older, and you just kind of just hang out. We turn on the TV sometimes, but it's not like an every night thing where we turn on TV. And if we do turn on TV, we turn on something very mellow and boring. So we turn on Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, which depending on your personality, you may like them and think they're exciting, or you may think they're very mellow. We like to think they're mellow but educational, and it's just very, easy. It's just something that we've done for years since my son was a baby. And they know that after, the last show's on, that it's just bedtime, and it's like their internal clock clicks on and they just are done for the day. So 8 o'clock has always been their bedtime. They've fallen asleep a lot sooner, between 7 and 8 o'clock when they were younger, and sometimes even now if they've had a really long day or a really long week, they don't make it quite till 8 o'clock. We are a little bit relaxed, sometimes 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock if it's like a weekend or summer break. Very rarely though, because they just don't make it. In fact, last week my husband worked late and it was 8:45 and my son was just like, "Oh, can we go to bed, Mom?" And I was like, "Okay, but Dad's not home yet." And because they wanted to see him before, but he just was so tired that he was done for it and he was ready to go to bed. So I think routines are definitely helpful. Your kids will get used to them and their internal clock gets used to them, and it makes transitions a little bit easier. The only time we've ever had a hard time with bedtime is when we transitioned our kids from the crib into a bed. Then it was a little rocky at the beginning, but eventually it got easier because it became routine. But everything else, it's just really been easy with bedtimes. It just goes without a hitch. There's very rarely any kind of fight or conflict, that they don't want to go to bed. So that's a good thing. I feel really lucky about that because I know that's not the case for everyone. But some tips that I have, maybe just making it very mellow, relaxed. It's so that they aren't, feeding off the energy of the TV, or, you and your husband are having a really excited conversation, they're feeding off that energy. I wouldn't necessarily say go and play with your kids, tickle them, get them all hyped up, and then 2 seconds later tell them to go to bed. Have time to get all those last little bits of energy out, and then have time to wind down and then go to bed. So everyone has their own routine. I think for the most part, most routines are very similar. Like yours is probably similar to mine. There may be some differences. but overall, whatever works for you is the best routine you have, but that's kind of what works for us, and it has been for 10 years now, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.